Tim, whenever you are ready, sir, you can begin.
Okay. Do you consider yourself a music person? Do you have a particular artist, group, or DJ that always seems to put you in a better mood? Well, I do. Today I'd like to pay tribute to what I consider to be the most influential rock band of all time, Led Zeppelin. This is a band of legendary bad boy status. With hundreds of albums sold worldwide over 6 decades, they continue to impact the course of rock music to this day. Today I'd like to tell you about how they inspired me. Today I'd like to tell you about how I became a fan at a young age, how they inspired me to want to be a rock star too, and how they're still my go-to band for whatever mood I may be in. So first I'll start with my childhood. Music appreciation was a big thing in my family. It was this exposure at a young age that led me to become a fan of Led Zeppelin in the first place. So my family is riddled with musicians, from my grandmother, the opera singer, to my uncle, the classical guitarist, my aunt and cousin who both played the flute. But in my parents' house, it was electric guitars and drums that ruled the world. We listened to classic bands like the Beatles, the Stones, the Who, Pink Floyd, to name a few. There was always one band that really seemed to stick out to me, and that's Led Zeppelin. I remember being around 7 years old, singing Stairway to Heaven a cappella with my parents in their bed with air guitar and air drums in full effect. So this was how I became a fan at a young age. I'd like to tell you about how they inspired me to teach myself how to play guitar. So with Robert Plant's haunting vocals, Jimmy Page's mind-bending guitar licks, John Paul Jones and the supernatural John Bonham holding the rhythm section down. Led Zeppelin has an enormous catalog of hits from their first few albums that cover styles like folk, blues, and rock. But for me, it wasn't until I got a little older that I realized it was their later albums with a more percussive, driven style that really drew my attention. And I would also hear things like, "You're not a true Zeppelin fan until you get to Physical Graffiti," which is a reference to their 6th studio album. So it was that style, my own personal visions of rock star grandeur, my previously discussed grounding, that led me to spend an entire summer to teach myself how to play these same songs. So this is how they inspired me to want to be a rock star too. And I'll tell you about how they're still my go-to band, whether I'm up, down, or just hanging around. With a massive selection of songs and styles, there's kind of something for whatever mood I may be in. So if I'm in a good mood, I like to go with songs like Good Times, Bad Times, Achilles' Last Stand, or Nobody's Fault But Mine. If I'm down and I want to stay down, I go with Thank You or Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. And if I'm down but I want to get up, I go with Into the Light, the Rain Song, or 10 Years Gone, which always seem to kind of get me going. Of course, if I'm just at the house hanging around, I'll throw it on shuffle and take whatever I get. Full disclosure, I was listening to Physical Graffiti while writing this speech. So this has been how I became a fan at a young age, how they inspired me to want to be a rock star too, and how they're still my go-to band for whatever mood I may be in. Now, I know that some of you may not even realize how many Zeppelin songs you would recognize just from pop culture, but I'm also willing to bet that a few of you are probably fans yourselves. So whether you consider yourself a music person or not, or you already have a particular artist, group, or DJ that really puts you in a better mood, Led Zeppelin can be there for you too. Thank you.